Sweet. Who is using the restroom behind us?
No one should be.
Don't they know? That is not a restroom.
No, it's
That
not.
is a shower room.
There is a toilet in there, but it's for decoration only.
It is a decoration. Dude, we need to put tape over that.
That'd be hilarious.
Can you just remove the water somehow?
A little saran wrap. You ever done that?
Dude, you could do the saran wrap, or there was the time where you take the ketchup packets and you fold them, and then you put them just on the bottom of the seat. So as soon as somebody sits down, ketchup just squirts all over the back of their legs.
I would be upset, to say the least, if that ever happened. I mean, that's not an appropriate joke for me. I don't think I could, in good humor, take that.
We used to do that all the time in middle school. We do that, and then there was the time that we took you take the pencils and you undo a paper clip and you stick it through the eraser, and then you shove it in the outlet.
Oh, what?
Where'd you think of?
I did not know where you were going.
Yeah,
with that.
dude, you're talking about you could literally make a staple launcher out of one of those pencils.
Dude, I never did that. I just had sparks flying out of
Dude,
outlets.
you take off the cap of where the lead comes out. You take off that cap, and then you pull back on the eraser, right? The eraser portion, and it opens up the little plastic piece. You stick a folded staple in there, and then you could just pull the eraser, and it shoots the staple.
That does feel like something Bearded Dwight would say.
It is.
I mean, I've never heard of this ketchup in the seat thing or saran wrap, so I thought maybe that was a college thing because clearly this guy didn't go.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Clearly, you're the only one that's wearing glasses. You know what I mean?
I did go for a little. I just didn't, finish.
It's okay.
I'm a failure like Pam. Didn't finish art school.
Didn't finish art school. Yeah. Oh man, dude.
She's a quitter.
I was just watching an episode of The Office the other night where Dwight was he paid Aaron $10 to say, "Oh my gosh, I just won an art contest."
and he's like,
"Yeah, he's got her.
You got her." He just thinks it's the best. I am the best pranker ever.
It was. I mean, that was a good prank.
Well, because she turned around so
face?
jealous. She was like,
Aaron,
what do you mean she
won an art contest? That would just be.
That's White though. If he's gonna prank you, it's gonna be a dark prank.
100%.
Jim's were always extremely funny, but none of them were ever dark, right? He would add nickels to the phone.
That's probably one of the funniest ones.
The one where he's feeding him the mints every time. Oh my gosh, that's dark.
The Pavlov's dog.
Yeah, Dwight's
man.
He built a house in his mind, dude.
Dude, and Jim was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like,
"Why am I salivating?"
Yeah. My mouth tastes
he's
bad
so
all of a sudden.
confused, dude. I actually wonder if that works.
Oh, it does. They tried it with dogs. It 100% works.
We have to try that on Cole.
I mean, that's what the original experiment is called, Pavlov's dog.
Yeah,
where they did that with with food, and so
I figured it would work with dogs, but I want to try this on a human
They would just
being.
ring a bell, and every time they rang it, they fed the dog.
I think you're right. Maybe we should try this on Cole.
We should try this on Cole.
It would be so easy.
Just positive reinforcement, though, so it builds them up at the same time. And that way the letdown is even greater when you realize it's just an experiment.
Jiminy's Christmas.
Anyways,
Kidding,
that
Cole,
is
we
our
love you.
general inside general sales
Having a manager that cares about you is a big deal.
It is.
And I do love you, Cole.
Anyways, welcome on into this week's episode of the Big Access Podcast. Today, as you can see, we actually have the cast, some of our main characters from our PDK Office series that we have going on our YouTube channel. If you're watching this, you're probably watching the Office series, and you've seen those episodes, and so you're loving it. We have a lot of fun with it, with making those episodes, and really using this very unique way to help sell PDK and get people aware of what is going on in the access control industry. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about that today with our own Bearded Dwight, Sean Blaisdell. You guys have seen him on this podcast a few times. This is his third time on the podcast.
Third time.
Second time in character.
Yes. Second time as the Bearded Dwight.
Yes. And then we also have Dallin Labrum, who is our Michael Scott.
And my mentor.
Yes. My mentor, Michael Scott.
Yes.
So, anyways, guys, thank you a ton for being willing to come and jump on this episode with us today.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man.
It is a lot of fun. So today we're going to be talking a little bit more about these series and kind of give you guys a little behind-the-scenes look into how this comes about. I'll talk a little bit more on the marketing side of things and how we go ahead about creating each one of these skits and the whole writing process. And then we'll talk with you guys about the acting side of things and the result that it has with our partners. So
beautiful.
Sounds great.
So first and foremost, though, we got to understand why Bearded Dwight became a thing.
Oh man, so this goes back to my my very beginnings in the industry. So I started with one of our partners, actually, Bay Alarm. I was a big Office fan at the time, and so I was talking to my boss at the time, and I was like, dude, I'm going to dress up as Dwight for Halloween. I think it'd be really funny. And at Bay at the time, you could not have a beard. So I really pulled off the Dwight look quite well. I have the long sleeve, I can't find this shirt anywhere. So this is, it's the short sleeve version, but I had it all planned out, came in, I had a beat that I bought from the store and everybody just thought it was a riot that I looked like Dwight, and it was really funny. So
were the beats locally grown, or were they?
You've gone down.
I've
told you all about my manure.
Yeah.
And you would think that I would get non-locally grown.
Listen, I just wanted to make sure you're being true to yourself.
Michael, did you tell people that I use store-bought manure? when I've shown you where I get my manure. I watched that episode last night.
Yeah, so did I, dude. We're around the
good.
same
We
spot.
are right in the same
we're
spot.
around the same spot. But anyway, so I sent a picture of one of my best friends. Shout out Matt. I sent him a picture of it, and he just thought it was the funniest thing he's ever seen. He's a big Office fan too. So I started gaming, and I got really into gaming during COVID. There was not much else to do in California. So I got into gaming, and then, I wanted to start streaming. And so I was talking to him about it. I'm like, dude, I need something, because I'm not the greatest gamer in the world. I'm not my talent isn't going to carry me to get anybody to watch my stream. So I need something else. And he was like, dude, dress as Dwight. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. But I refused to shave my beard because I was forced to shave it. I still love you, Bay Alarm, but I was forced to shave it every day, and I love having I'm just a beard guy, right?
You know they allow beards there now, right?
I know. It was right at as my 10-year was expiring. They were right as before I moved to Utah, they were probably 3 months before, they're like, hey, by the way, with the whole beard thing, we're good. Just keep it clean. I was like, yes. So I started growing it right before I moved to Utah. But anyways, so I was like, all right, Bearded Dwight. That's going to be my streamer name. And then
took him 5 years to grow this beard that you see.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we all can't be you. That's why you're my mentor.
Dallin's 5 o'clock shadow rolls in around 11 a.m.
So that's the story behind Bearded Dwight.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And so on a marketing team, we were just talking one day, and we found out that you did this, and we were like, oh my gosh, dude, that is awesome. We figured you liked The Office because you had a few Office props, but then we found out that you had this whole character, and so we had you on our Big Access podcast. You're in one of the very first episodes.
Yeah.
We did. We've been doing this for over a year now.
Yeah.
And so that was very exciting. It was a lot of fun. You dropped a lot of great quotes in that episode.
Yeah, it was. I remember making you laugh very hard.
Oh my gosh, dude, I was dying
because I think I smacked the table and was like, Michael.
Yeah, dude, out of nowhere. Yeah, you blew me away. I was just like, that was out of nowhere. I did not expect that was coming.
So what's funny about that is I remember after that whole podcast, I went to Jordan. I was like, dude, we need to start doing some sort of PDK Office related thing. I was like, this would be so much fun to do. And so, shout out to the marketing team for being open to ideas, and you guys have done a great job of kind of, morphing it from, The Office is a great series. It's a lot of fun, right? But ultimately we want to make sure that people understand who PDK is, what we're about, why we're one of the, fastest growing access control companies in the country. So you guys have been able to kind of merge the two, which has been very impressive, and I'm super proud to be a part of it, to be honest with you.
Well, good, dude. We're very happy that you are willing to step in and help out and really become a mascot for PDK.
I like that. The PDK mascot. I'm with that.
So a little bit of background there. So, yeah, Sean kind of came to us, and he's like, yeah, guys, we got to be doing something like that. And so we ran with it, and we did one episode, and it was mainly done for, hey, let's throw this out on our TikTok, see how it does. And it was kind of I wouldn't necessarily say that the whole episode is PDK themed on that one. It's kind of more of an introduction where it just talks about how you somehow got behind this idea that, hey, we're doing a documentary, and so you needed to dress up and act a little bit differently. And it was fun. And the ping pong message behind it is hilarious, right? So that you are just hilarious with it, right? You're destroying people in ping pong. You're telling everybody that they're pathetic. It's hilarious.
It is.
We like
comparing yourself to animals.
Yeah.
You're somewhere
And Michael
between-
Jordan.
somewhere between Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact line. But I
And
definitely say
Serena
Michael
Williams
Jordan.
is in
Serena
there.
Williams.
Yeah. And then we started to kind of transform this a little bit more. We did another episode, it was backed by popular demand, where we did one all about demos. And
Yes.
where so you're like in the stairwell hyping yourself up for a demo. It's hilarious. And then you get locked out of the office, showing how
Damn it,
simple
Tanner.
it is to go ahead and disable. And that was the introduction to the Damn It Tanners.
Yeah.
And so,
Sure
yeah,
was.
just about every episode since, we have a Damn It Tanner moment.
Yeah, that was the introduction to it, and I think it's a staple in the episodes now, and I think that it would be weird if we didn't have it now.
I would agree. Tanner has done a great job filling in as our Jim type character. He's always doing something kind of weird, and
He knows what the thing that everybody knows about Jim, right, is the faces.
Oh yeah.
Right? And Tanner knows how to I don't know, when Dallin leans down on the injury episode and he pops the bubbles and Tanner's just like I can't even do what he did. It was so natural.
The face he makes.
And that took us like 5 or 6 times to get right. Because of Tanner's face, everybody was just losing it because of his reaction after popping the bubbles.
And nobody talks about all of the benefits of us doing this in our office, right? This has brought us closer together.
100%.
And Tanner has actually done something recently that he's never done before, which is try. Which I've seen it, since we started doing this, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's just been
That was a quote from The Office. I was just kidding. Remember?
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Jim has to
Jim's
afford
like-
a house. He's got to try.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to try something I've never done before. That was the episode where they went golfing and he closed that big deal. And then Ryan is like, good job doing your job, Jim.
Got some blisties.
Andy, dude.
That episode.
He's wearing those cloth
cotton
gloves.
cloth gloves.
He hit
like-
1,000 balls the night before.
Yeah.
That was actually filmed at a golf course that I golfed at all the time.
Really?
Oh,
Just this little it's an 18-hole course, but it's only it's like a par, I don't know, 60 something.
I didn't know you worked in Pennsylvania.
No, it wasn't in Pennsylvania.
What do you?
I mean,
down there.
Sure,
I don't know if
yeah.
you know this,
Sorry.
but in movies they actually fly to different locations around the country.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was actually recorded in Van Nuys, which is also close to my stopping grounds. But yeah, there was that whole golf course scene. I'm
Did you say
like,
Van
I've
Nuys?
golfed on that Van Nuys.
That's super far from Bakersfield. What are you talking about?
Anyways,
Listen,
so let's continue talking about the benefits. So obviously, it has brought us a lot closer as a team. We've had a great time doing this, but I would also say that it's helped out our partners a ton too. Right? We've yesterday in the live stream that we were doing yesterday, we had somebody come on and saying, "Hey, I came on board because of these office skits." And I'm
really
learning
cool.
way more about access control than I ever thought I would.
Yeah.
That was a really cool comment.
yeah, it's been good. Down was actually telling me that some of the demos he's been giving, he opens up with a PDK office episode, which I think is so amazing that I didn't think of it first. I'm actually really irritated. But
I mean, the fact that we're doing this is just an awesome reflection of who PDK is. One of our core values is unity and fun.
Yep.
And this is just exemplary of that. We have so much fun making them. It really doesn't take us very much time. And to be honest with you, the finished product that Brock and his team, Jordan and them, pump out at the end, you don't even, while you're doing it, you have no idea how much better they're going to make you look than what's really at. Because the whole time we're making it, I'm like, man, I feel like a goofball. Man, this, and then they come out with the finished product, and you're like, wow, okay.
Well, you say it doesn't take much time most of the time.
Right.
There are definitely some moments, like if you go back and you watch the Prison Dallin episode,
Yeah.
there's a certain scene in the conference room that we had to refilm a lot because nobody could keep a straight face.
Yeah.
there's been moments where
Drop the credential.
yeah,
The kissing was something. It just
No, if you read the
feel bad
comments on
about
that video,
Yeah.
everybody agrees that was not your first time doing it.
How do you think I motivate my team?
dude, there's
Sheesh, dude.
Oh wait, I wasn't referring. No, that was Watch, Jordan's going to take that and make me look amazing.
dude, you're definitely Michael right now. Like you're accidentally saying things like golden shower. You
Yeah.
know?
Yep. Just an hour-long shower.
With guys.
Yeah. Dude,
Golly.
office quotes, baby.
Golly.
Maybe
man.
just
So there-
take that one out.
Yeah.
right? Yeah, we've got an editor, right?
That's what I'm saying. Because we know there are parts of the office that just could not be accepted today.
For sure.
Absolutely not.
We're all of us are admitting that, but at the same time, that was it was a cultural show. That was an icon. I had people all over the world that I knew that watched that loved it. And it's eerily emblematic of office experience. I think anybody who's ever worked in an office can look back at the office and say, man, that hits home, right? Michael did something on an Office episode almost every time where I'm like, I've literally had a manager do that exact thing, and it's just like it's just being able to relate to it. And I think that's one of the cool things is, we make fun of like some of the bad cultural things here because really we don't have a lot of bad cultural things at PDK, and when we recognize them, we change it.
Well, and I think a big reason why these are so successful with our dealer partners is because it brings back that nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the big things that we like to focus on with marketing is nostalgia, because that's the quickest way to develop a feeling inside of a person, right? And we live off that mantra that somebody's never going to remember what you tell them, but they're always going to remember how you made them feel. Yep. And so that's a big reason why PDK has the voice and style that we do. Yeah. Because we want people to remember, hey, there was PDK. I can't really remember what they did, but they made me laugh that one time, or they made me remember things. And so it draws them back in. I mean, we had one guy yesterday talking to us about how awesome that 90s commercial is that we just released. That was a lot of fun, and it just brought everybody back to what toy commercials were like in the 90s. Yeah. Explosions, loud noises. It was fun.
You guys embodied it and encompassed it perfectly, in my opinion, because I grew up with those like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle commercials with the moon shoes. Like that's kind of what that one reminds me of a little bit. Is you remember moon shoes?
Oh yeah, dude.
I was 8 years old and too big for them. But I wanted them so bad, but my toes hit the edge, and
that's
awesome. Couldn't quite get the moon effect that you wanted.
You just did the smile from the last episode when you were talking to Toby, Tyler, Thomas. You're like,
this is. I love it when Michael
that was
would
a
do
lot
that
of fun.
When he was like really upset.
Yeah.
So I want to talk.
The worst.
I want to talk about what like actually putting one of these on looks like, because everybody, like you said, everybody thinks that this takes up a ton of our time, when it does take up a lot of our time to be able to do and to be able to make sure that we're doing it right. But when it comes time to getting to you guys, we're able to get it done in a few hours. Yeah, at least the filming portion. So that's not too bad. But the lead up to it, there's quite a bit, right? I mean, obviously we're watching The Office left and right to be able to find bits and pieces that we can go ahead and pull out and mimic ourselves. So that's really important. I'm watching The Office. Jordan, I know, watches The Office like crazy.
I watch an episode a day at least.
Yeah, always, right? It's a lot of fun. But then what we do is it's Jordan's responsibility to then kind of come up with an idea of how are we going to run with this. And then we have a brainstorming session as a marketing team where we're like, hey, if we take this script or this idea, how can we actually correlate that to access control so that these videos aren't just entertainment, but they're also educational.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest, and what I would say is probably the hardest part of these is making sure that they're still marketing videos that help to drop different levels of knowledge about PDK, because ultimately that's one of our goals here as a marketing team too, is to excite and inform potential and existing partners through honest, informative content. That's our mission statement here in our marketing team. We want to make sure that our partners are learning more with everything we do. And so making sure that these videos have a theme around PDK, like the Prison Down episode, right? That was all about red high security and OSDP. Yep. The injury episode was all about the Pro Data Key app and using mobile credentials. Yep. One of my personal favorite videos that we did was Cole's intervention. And this whole thing was about how, because like you just said, one of our core values is unity and fun. Yeah. Another one of ours is partner fanaticism, where we make sure that our partners. Number one core value, right? We want to make sure that one. Sorry. We make sure that our partners have everything that they need to succeed, because ultimately when they succeed, we succeed. Yeah. Right? And so we talk in that episode about how Cole is such a partner fanatic that he sleeps at the office, how everything he's doing is focused around our partners. And it's a fun way to poke fun at ourselves that way, right? Yeah. And that episode is a riot. We throw an intervention for Cole, talking about how it's good that he loves our partners, but he shouldn't be loving our partners, up until 11:30 midnight, sleeping at
80 hours a week. That's too much.
Yeah, it's too much, right? Yeah. And so make sure you go and watch that episode if you haven't, because that one is a lot of fun, and it really gets that message across that PDK is partner fanatics.
Yeah, and we're barely stretching the truth on that one.
Barely.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
literally, we're taking calls all day long, all night long. You guys probably heard John Lorquette in our last podcast. You know, he said no one, and he's worked in this industry for a long time, no one has supported him the way that Pro Data Key has. And that's what we want to hear. That's
Absolutely.
the feedback we're looking for. And the effort with these office episodes is, it's no secret that the kind of end user, end customer outreach and information in this industry is behind a lot of other industries.
Yeah.
People, so we get people calling in who are end users asking what access control is. Like, what is this, you know? And it opens that question. And we've had some really good, some really great leads come from this, and we're still having more. What we want people to know is we're a fun place to work. We're putting in a lot of effort into informing people about our industry. And there's a lot of veils between our industry and the end user, and we want to remove those veils, and we want to get some transparency. And I think we're doing that with these.
Yeah, it's a unique way that really pulls people in.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah, it's interesting because we have a good blend of like really talented people, but that also care about the industry, care about their partners, care about PDK, and you know, we're lucky that we have talented people, because I feel like if we couldn't knock out the filming as quickly as we do, I mean, quickly is, it might be 3 or 4 hours, you know, but in, you know, you look at other things, they take way longer than that with
Yeah.
filming,
Oh, yeah.
right? With all like the cutting and people messing up and whatever, you know, remembering your lines. We kind of just, you know, Jordan sends us a calendar invite. We're like, all right, we'll be
With
there.
the script,
With the script.
I get excited. Like, I stop whatever I'm doing to read those
For
scripts.
sure. But like, so, you know, shout out to the talent here at PDK being able to do this in a reasonable amount of time, to where it's not taking away from what our job really is, which is taking care of our partners and making sure that they have the tools that they need to succeed.
Yeah.
Because then we'd be in a tough spot if we didn't have the talented people that we need to get that done. So,
I agree. And that's really the process, like you were talking about. We get an email invite. Attached to that is the script. We read that, and I usually try to read it at least once or twice a day, get familiar with what we're trying to do, because honestly, Jordan does a great job scripting it, but he lets us kind of flow with it. As long as we understand what we're trying to accomplish, we're allowed to flow with it, and we've had some really fun ad-libs in it. And
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's been a great time.
Basically, that script comes in as an outline, right?
Yeah.
And then it's, hey, go ahead and improv this part. And I'll tell you what, you guys are very talented, because half of the stuff that you guys improv, dude, we're just like, yeah, that's way better. Let's leave that in. That is so good.
That is literally the nicest thing Brock's ever said to me, right there.
Right? And I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's been a few episodes where it's like we were aiming for a certain minute mark, but the content's too good, and we're just like, all right, I guess we're just gonna put out this 6-minute video, like, which is really cool. That's that, you know, I think that's what makes it so much fun, is that like we have this idea, and marketing allows us the freedom and creativity to kind of to make it our own, but also understand, you know, we have a goal in mind, right? Which is to, you know, whatever the topic is at hand. But when you get a bunch of people that are talented and funny and kind, and then you know, mix them all together and they come up with some really cool ideas, I mean, this is how you get PDK the office, right?
There you go. It's a lot of fun. So thank you guys a ton for being willing to help us out with that project.
Our pleasure.
It's a lot of fun.
I will literally block off 3 days for that. That's how much I love.
Don't tell Jordan that,
No, you
because
won't.
he will block off 3
Right.
days.
Not 3 days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Down won't approve 3 days, but you know, I'm just saying, I will, like, in an ideal world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
It's
And
so much fun.
It's rare to be able to do that. This is something I'll never forget.
Oh, yeah,
ever.
absolutely.
As long as,
Right.
you know, as long as I live.
It's a lot of fun. So if you haven't already done so, make sure you go out to our YouTube channel and you watch these episodes. We have a lot of fun doing them. We do one a month, so that way you guys can have a little break in the monotony that is the security industry marketing. So we, you know, hopefully you guys really enjoy what the marketing team is putting out and really helping to educate you guys in a little bit different way. But be sure to watch our next episode. It's all going to be about mobile credentials and how you can recover those if you get a new phone down. Didn't that just happen to you in real life?
It did just happen to me, and I was actually pleasantly surprised at the process, man.
It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. So
It was fast.
yeah, be ready for another really fun episode that we are going to be filming here next week.
Yeah.
And putting together. So should be a lot of fun. But anyways, guys, thank you a ton for jumping on this week's episode of the Big Access Podcast. If you haven't already done so, make sure that you leave a 5-star rating on it, subscribe, and let us know if there's anything else that you are looking to learn on this podcast, and we can add that into our list of upcoming episodes. But thank you guys a ton. And we will see you next week.
Yep. Shout out to our dealer partners, disty partners, integration partners. We couldn't do it without you guys.
With all my heart.
For reals.